Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. Just waiting for Nachum to join the call. He's having some trouble joining in. Let's just give 5 minutes. All right, I think he's in here.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Nachum, this is Jay here.
Hey, Jay, how are you?
Good, good. Great. So, all right, I think we're all in. We can go and get started, yeah.
Shall we maybe give another few minutes maybe for more people to join?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, okay. Let me just open presentation on my end. Are you guys recording this session?
Right, we are recording this session.
Oh, perfect, okay. Cool. Okay. Can others hear us, or it's just two of us?
No, we have the participants as well who have joined us around 18.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think we are probably good to start.
So great, yeah. So yes, let's get started. Thank you everyone for joining in the webinar for leveraging LambdaTest and CloudBeat for faster product delivery. Really appreciate it. I know Mondays are the craziest day of the week, and you guys have made it. It's really great. Thank you so much for joining in this webinar. So my name is Jay. I'm one of the co-founders at LambdaTest, and I will be your host for this webinar, along with Nachum, who is the CEO at CloudBeat. And let me just quickly start with a quick introduction of our webinar. What are we going to cover? So we're going to cover a quick introduction about LambdaTest platform and also cover about CloudBeat Oxygen automation framework. And in this webinar, you'll also learn how you can use Selenium to develop your automation scripts in KTD mode, as well as how LambdaTest and CloudBeat can help you faster product delivery. And definitely, we'll also have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. And here, just a quick snapshot about LambdaTest. Wouldn't take too much time because the more objective is in this webinar is to talk about how you can have faster product delivery using both the platforms. And getting started, so as of today, LambdaTest helps customers worldwide to perform cross-browser testing on desktop and mobile browsers. So we have built this entire platform on the cloud. And right now, in our current features, we have Selenium automation testing. If you're using Selenium or any of the supported frameworks of Selenium, you'll be able to run your cross-browser automation in our platform. And we also have live testing for manual testing, along with other features like responsive as well as screenshot testing. Now, as a part of this entire ecosystem, we also provide a lot of integrations today. So we have done integrations. You can check out our integrations page within the product to see the integrations. So as of today, we have integrations with the project management tools like Jira, Asana, GitLab, GitHub to provide one-click bug logging. We also have integrations for the CI/CD, wherein you can automate your schedule your test automation scripts on our platform. And we also provide integration with other codeless automation tools as well in the current environment. And why LambdaTest? So just going across, so we provide a combination of 2,000 plus operating system and browsers on the cloud, be it mobile and desktop browsers. And like I said earlier, we do provide integrations. Integrations, we have 30 plus integrations as of today available in our product. And one of the most important aspect of our product is 24/7 technical support. We have live chat support within our product where you can get in touch with our support team. And we also provide lifetime product access with a premium plan for users around the manual testing. And today we have around 100,000 plus trusted global users who use our platform to perform cross-browser testing and enhance the compatibility of their web applications using our cloud platform. And why users love us? We've got a top rating across majority of the review sites today, be it G2 Crowd, Capterra, Good Firms, and we've also, you can always hear our customers, what they talk about us, and in some of these platforms, leading platforms and reviews, which will give you an overview of how they're using our platform to enhance the cross-browser compatibility of our web applications and the features they love. So I'm just going to take a quick 5 minutes for you, to give you a quick overview about the platform. So this is LambdaTest, and we do have a premium plan as well with LambdaTest, which you can also sign in and give it a quick spin. So one of the features here I'm clicking is real-time testing, where you can perform manual cross-browser testing across several desktop browsers and mobile browsers. So you can see in the left-hand side, these are the browsers that we support as of today. We have IE, Edge, Safari, Yandex. And whenever you select any specific browser version, the operating system that it supports would populate. We also bring in the functionality to make it easier for developers as well as the testers to test local applications or application behind a firewall or a local host application. And if your URL is not private, you can definitely connect to our Lambda tunnel securely and run your test. And I wouldn't really get deeper into this. And however, so here you can see we have mobile browsers that's for iPhone, iPad as well. Now, coming to the visual UI test, around the visual UI test, so with this functionality, you will be able to take full page screenshots of your web applications or websites using our screenshot functionality, and you can select 25 browsers at one time. And also we provide you a login functionality that we recently launched, and which you'll be able to quickly take screenshot beyond the sign-in pages as well using this functionality. So with responsive testing, you'll be able to perform test across test your web application across 56 different device resolutions. We have around 28 devices, including the landscape mode. We have 56, which will enable you to check this. And our smart testing is all about image-to-image comparison. You'll be able to see visual regression logs. You can compare images to images, a baseline image, and add comparison image to see. And our application does pixel-to-pixel comparison and highlights the areas which are having discrepancy based compared to the baseline. And automation is what we're going to cover in major today. I wouldn't be getting into depth because Nachum is going to cover this entire functionality as well in the demo. In this, you'll be able to automate your test scripts on our cloud platform by selecting configuration. And you will also be, this is built on Selenium Grid on the cloud. So, and we support around 32 frameworks, like I said. And you'll be able to see the exception, errors, command logs, network logs. You'll also be able to download. And we also provide one-click bug logging within our automation testing as well. So this is a quick overview of automation, but we'll definitely I'm not going to take too much of your time here to get deeper. And just now I'm going to show you about our integrations. These are the integrations available with LambdaTest. So this is a quick product demo that I wanted to share here. Just a quick snapshot about the functionality. And we are going to talk more about Oxygen today. So I would like to introduce my co-speaker for this webinar, Nachum Diner. So Nachum is the co-founder and CEO of CloudBeat, and they have developed an amazing framework, in fact, for automation testing called Oxygen. And what it does, it's basically a powerful Selenium and Appium framework built over WebdriverIO, and that can really help you fast-track your automation testing. And these guys have really built amazing features out of the box, including codeless testing as well. And then the best part about Oxygen today, it's an open source framework and available for all. And I think I'll let Nachum speak more about it. And over to you, Nachum.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Jay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I will switch to my presentation for a moment. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So today I want to introduce you to our open source project called Oxygen, which is really very powerful test automation framework for Selenium and Appium. Before that, let me give you a few words about what we do in CloudBeat, just to put it in the right context. Yeah, so my name is Nachum. I'm CEO and co-founder of CloudBeat. We created CloudBeat in order to take testing, in particular test automation, to the next level. We felt there is some frustration of how hard it is sometimes to create automation tests, and we decided that we can do a good job by helping our industry to transform to continuous testing and more test automation. So CloudBeat is an intelligent testing platform which helps you to simplify working with Selenium and Appium. Plus, it allows you, it really enterprise-grade, best-in-class test automation infrastructures that allows you to scale your test as you go and run your test on local infrastructure, plus cloud-based infrastructure like LambdaTest, which allows you to run more than 2,000 real browsers, just simply with simple configuration. So CloudBeat has quite a powerful platform from anything from creation of tests to test execution to test analysis. So today I'm going to show you the part which we call Oxygen, and we are really proud of it. CloudBeat Test is our major solution, cloud-based. So if those of you who will be interested to hear more, you are more than welcome to approach me offline. Today we are going to focus on Oxygen. So to give you a little bit more overview on Oxygen, I want to speak really shortly about Selenium and Appium, because I think probably it's one of the best things that happened to testing industry to have Selenium and Appium being open source kind of major front runners as test automation frameworks. On one side, those are great projects which allow us to automate web and mobile tests. On the other side, there are quite high entry barriers that they introduce. And I think many of us struggling to get started with it. So let me introduce you Oxygen. This is our solution for simplifying work with Selenium and Appium. And Oxygen allows you to do both full coding test automation and what we call low code test automation, when you don't need to be highly skilled or highly experienced programmer, but you can rather start with simply a recurrent playing mechanism that we have. And so we call it simplicity, where simplicity meets power. Because on one side, we have very powerful test automation where you can do whatever you want, and you can go as high as you like. On the other side, if you just want to get started with Selenium and Appium, this might be one of the easiest framework and basically solutions out there for you. And the best part, it's of course open source and free. So just Oxygen, just to give you a quick overview. So Oxygen is based on JavaScript, I think one of the simplest and easiest programming language that exists today. So we utilize JavaScript and Node.js to make the scripts powerful but yet simple. We have dedicated IDE development environment. So It has built-in record and play mechanism, which I'm going to show you, very simple debugging mechanism, script intelligence, and so on. So you still can continue working with your favorite IDE. So the way Oxygen built is, it has, first of all, Oxygen framework, which is a Node.js framework built on WebdriverIO. And on top of it, we have optional, our own dedicated IDE, which you can use, but you don't have to. But definitely, if you feel you're up to record and play and you really want to create your test quickly, then I do encourage you to try and use Oxygen IDE as well. We have all best and most common testing patterns implemented, like page object, data-driven testing, KDT, and so on. One of best parts of Oxygen, it's not just web and it's not just mobile. You can actually create full end-to-end test, including API testing, including database testing, web services, file system, emails, SMSs, and many more. So it's a fully scalable integration testing and end-to-end testing solution. No special setup is needed. You will see it's very simple, just to download Oxygen IDE and install it, and you are good to go, or use Oxygen CLI through as NPM model. And you will see that we have quite advanced test results, capabilities, and screenshots. And of course, with integration with LambdaTest, you get LambdaTest, you can get much more. Now, why Oxygen? Again, it's one of most complete open source testing solutions, includes, as I already mentioned, many more than just web and mobile. We have quite a unique combination of low code and full code solution, and codeless coming soon as well. We have very powerful, one of the best in market, record and play mechanism, so you can create your test in minutes. Oxygen is oriented for both developers and testers, and this is why using Oxygen IDE is optional, but it brings, we believe it brings a lot of values, especially for testers. And of course, it's built on best practices and patterns that exist out there and mostly used by most of existing frameworks. Okay, let me show some demo. Let us see the bride.
Yeah, in fact, a couple of our attendees are asking for the live demo. All right, guys, we're here now.
Yeah, here we are. Here we are. Sorry, I just wanted to warm you up, guys, and give you some kind of context. Yeah, so we are at live demo right now. So here we can see Oxygen IDE. So as I explained, Oxygen IDE is a layer on top of Oxygen framework. So you can install Oxygen framework using standard Node.js NPM module, and of course, Oxygen framework coming as built in Oxygen IDE. All you need to do to use Oxygen IDE is go to Oxygen HQ website. Yeah, here we go. How do I get rid of this bar? Okay, let me just move it here. Yeah, so if you go just to oxygenhq.org, you press download button, and you can download our IDE to any version of your operating system. So this is the way to go. Once you do it, you have it here. It looks the same on Mac and Windows and Linux, so no worries about it. Yeah, so here we go. This is our Oxygen IDE. You would typically just start by opening a folder, right? So I can open here my specially prepared demo folder. It's very simple. Every script is basically JavaScript file. If I open one of them, this is how it looks. Pretty simple. We'll create one right now by just recording using our Chrome plugin, right? So let me just start by creating a new script. Here I just press a new button. All I need to do just to get started is either, of course, write manually, which I can easily do. You can see we have IntelliSense, and basically Oxygen is built on a number of models. One of the most common one is web. Web is basically a wrapper around Selenium. So, I can just create it manually, or what I do want to demonstrate it, we will go and just record and play it. So I just press play button. So I will go ahead and I will open the Chrome browser and I will go to Wikipedia website just to use it for today's demo. If I go back, you can see that we have automatically some piece of code already generated. I will go through it with you in a moment. So if I go back and I just write testing, okay, and I press search button. So here we go. I got testing related Wikipedia page here displayed. If I go back, I see I have a full test here. So let me just stop the recording for right now. Let me just maximize the window and go with you through what we see here. So first of all, pay attention to how we see the script. It's almost a plain English. Even so, it's actually a JavaScript. So we did it on purpose to keep the coding very simple. This is what we call low-code approach, right? So first of all, you can see the word web is repeated over and over again. This is because we use a web model. So it's one of major models, basically a wrapper, or we can call it kind of web driver for Selenium. So first step is just to initialize it, okay? You can see that we don't need to pass any browser name here. We can select browser we want to run the test here in this Dropbox. And here we go, we have an open, right? So we have web opens, it means we open the browser right now. Then we have here select window, it just we put it there just in case we work with multiple windows. And then see the interesting part. So we have, this is where we type our text. You see web.type, right? And then we see some interesting things. Those of you who are familiar with Selenium, they know that this is a locator. This is how we locate an element. And so we located this element by ID, right? So this prefix says that we have identified this element by its ID. This is ideal, what we call strong locator. But pay attention to these commands on top of it, right? So this is how basically Oxygen gives you a choice to select a different locator. So our recording engine basically lists all possible locators, and then it selects one which is the strongest one in our recording engine opinion, but it also gives you a freedom to reuse another locator if you choose to, or if the selected locator stops to work. So you can see there is a list of 5 different locators by name, by CSS, by different XPaths, and you can basically choose to use each one of them, okay? So as you can see, this is quite powerful recording engine, which also gives you a hint what are other locators you can use. You can see here we click a search button. So it's fairly, you can see that we have generated fairly simple test automation script. All I need to do is just to save it. So I can say save. I can give it a name. Let's call it just Wikipedia. We can call it live demo. Okay, and I just simply save it here. And now I can run it locally with just pressing run button. That's all I need to do, okay? So if I just go here, I press run button, okay? And you see here behind the scenes, we have already Selenium servers running. So we're initializing WebDriver. And here we go. Here our test is running on our local browser. That's all. We have it done, okay? Of course, we can very easily add asserts. So say I want to assert now this page title, okay? So all I need to do is just press record button again, go back to my browser, right click here. As you can see on our toolbar, there is a Chrome, our special Chrome extension installed. And you can see that in context menu, I have a special Oxygen entry here. And for example, if I want to assert a title, I can just choose this option here. And it will be automatically added here at the end of the script, okay? So I can stop recording right now. I can keep it, but I can actually also ignore the select window right now because we are still in the same window, so it's not necessary. I can save it again and run it over, okay? And basically you will see that at the moment we have the right title, so we have, the test will pass. If we change the string here, if we change the value, say we add 1, and we run over again, then this test will fail. It will take about 60 seconds to fail because we have wait timeout, so we kind of, our engine and Selenium itself, waiting to see if title will change. Obviously it won't, so we'll need to wait for a few seconds to see that it fails. Let me meantime CJ, what do you say? Shall we answer some questions right now, or shall we keep them till the end of the session?
If you think we can have it in the end of the session, Nachum. So are you going to just quickly show how it's going to be working with LambdaTest as well?
Sure. So, okay, Jay, so just keep an eye on your question. If there's anything which, you know, maybe I'm not very clear about it, so please mention it, unless, you know, I think probably majority of them we can answer towards the end of the session. Okay, guys. Yeah, so we need to wait a little bit more. Again, the default timeout is 60 seconds. I can, of course, very easily change it by just typing. Once it will finish, I will show you. Yeah, here we go. We have the test has failed. We expected this title, but we got another title. So here we go. We have a failed test here below has been reported. I can, of course, very easily change the timeout by just set timeout function, and I can put any other timeout in milliseconds. So if I want to make it quicker, I can put 10 seconds, which is 10,000 milliseconds. That's all. So fairly simple to use. I want to quickly show you also our incredible documentation here. So you can see here, this is the Oxygen documentation. So I have all references here. So if I go, this, as you can see, we have quite a few models implemented here, including mailing editor support, general mail server support, Twilio support, and so on and so forth. So we can see, if we go to web model, you can see references to all existing commands. So you can see all commands here. And of course, you can go to each one of them and see examples and see parameters and the full documentation here. Okay. So yeah. So I just right now, I've shown you how easily you can create a script and run and play it back locally. Let me now show you how we can do the same by running this test in cloud on LambdaTest infrastructure. Actually, it's the same simplicity as you saw it locally. Okay, so if I go here, you can see a kind of cloud icon here. So if I press it, you can see I have my LambdaTest integration on. I have my credentials here. So I have my username, I have my access token here, and you can optionally select a few options here. Okay, so I will show you some of them in LambdaTest test result report. So this is already predefined for me. Once you do it, you can see here a Dropbox, which is local, which means you can run it on local infrastructure. And you can see here that you can run your test on LambdaTest infrastructure. So if I select a LambdaTest, okay, and I keep Chrome browser here, so all I need to do again is just simply press run button. That's all. So I press run, and I will quickly go here to LambdaTest. This is my LambdaTest account. And you see here we have live demo test. Here we go. So you see the status is running. As we go, it's still running here. You see we are here in progress. You can see this green arrow. Okay. And in a moment, you will see that our test will finish here. And so we can see both. We can see past status here. Okay. So here the test is finished. It's passed. And of course, I can see the same test here. I can play it back. I can see how it goes. I can see that it's passed as well here. And yeah, and the great thing here, okay, you can see, just a moment, let the test finish here. Yeah, okay, here it's completed. Okay, so I can see, of course, here a summary of all Selenium commands, as you can see here. I can see my network stats here, so you can see how actually my backend has performed. I can see some test logs here. Okay, here's our log. This is Oxygen log here as well. So you can see quite a lot of information here, and of course you can see the information here as well. Now, please note that Oxygen IDE is not your real test environment, okay? So whenever you're ready with your test script, you would probably like to run it through our Oxygen CLI, which I will show you in a moment, because Oxygen CLI allows you to generate much wider and much deeper result report. So with Oxygen CLI, what you can do, you can run, first of all, you can run easily your suits, so which means you can run more than one test. You can run tests in parallel. So you can utilize, for example, LambdaTest parallel testing capacity. You can run them on multiple browsers and devices and so on. So just one more thing which I want to show you before I go to Oxygen CLI is that you can actually generate here, and you can, as you can see, you can run it on standard browsers out of box here, also on LambdaTest infrastructure. But if you want to be more picky and you want to run it on certain version of operating system or center version of browsers, and what you can do, LambdaTest has a great desired capability generator. You can easily find it here. It's in this URL. So all you need to do here is just, select whatever browser you want to run it, okay? So I can say, hey, I want to run it on Chrome, but I don't want to run it on 78. I want to run it on 74, okay? And say I want to run it on Windows 8, okay? And all you need to do is just to simply copy paste it here, okay? So I copy paste it here, and you saw that our init function had no parameters. So what I will do now, I will just copy paste it here. So it will look this way. Now pay attention that in this case, I can also add my build name, say my demo build. I can add my test name, my first test, okay? And this way, I can again run it on LambdaTest infrastructure, but now with different capabilities, okay? So if we'll run it now, so we'll run it on not the default Chrome version, but we'll run it on a 78, on Windows 8 version, and so on and so forth. So I can basically select any set of capabilities that's supported by LambdaTest and copy paste it here, okay? So this is another way, a little bit more customized way to run the tests on LambdaTest infrastructure, okay? Yeah.
I think, Nachum, in fact, we had just a quick question, actually.
Sure.
Same question, like how do we run it using custom desired capability? I think you answered it. So just wanted to know one of our attendees as well. I hope we've answered the same.
Yeah. So yeah, as you can see it here, so it's fairly simple to run all these custom capabilities simply by copy paste it. Okay, you can see here it's already shows me another build that I just used it, and here our test result, right? So on Windows 8. Okay, see how simple it is. Okay, so really just by copy pasting from here to Oxygen IDE. Okay. So this is again just to show you quickly how I can work with different browser versions. I will go now further, and I will show you how I can create a suite of tests and run it on Oxygen CLI, okay? So in order to run a suite of tests, what you will need to do, you will need to create a JSON file. And so JSON file is our kind of setting file where we can put more than just running a single test. It's well documented in our documentation here. So let me just quickly show you if you would like to know more about it. You can see getting started with CLI. So you can find a lot of information here, different CLI options, different JSON options as well. So just to go quickly over it with you, so you can see I can specify a number of different iterations. I can specify how many parallel tests I want to run. And again, you can utilize either your local infrastructure or you can utilize LambdaTest parallel testing capabilities here. I can specify here either my local URL or just URL for LambdaTest. You can find it here in settings, okay? Here we go. This is a standard Selenium hub for LambdaTest. So if I just go back here, in this example, we'll run 2 test cases. one which called Wikipedia search Lambda, another called search testing. The real difference is just by what keyword we will be searching for in Wikipedia. So you see the LambdaTest will look for LambdaTest keyword, and testing will look for testing keyword. Other than that, it's the same. Basic Oxygen through npm Oxygen -CLI-G. Once I do it, I can write Oxygen and space and give the name of and provide the name of suite anywhere in operating system. So here I have already pre-installed. So if you see, I'm just pressing enter, and now we're running the same test through Oxygen CLI. So here we go. Yeah, we have Safari browser open here. Yeah, here we write LambdaTest. Here we will write testing. Okay, and in a moment we will open up Chrome browser. Yeah, you can see it's damn fast. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's all. Now, the interesting part is you can see that in my demo folder, I will open it for you, we automatically open a subfolder, okay, with the name of suite. So you see, this is my demo folder, right? This was my suite file, configuration file. And you see, but the name of the file, we also open a folder with the same name. So you can see we have created for this particular run, we have created a folder with a timestamp of the run. And here we can see an HTML report, okay? So here we go, we have, this is a test summary. So we see we run suite on 2 separate browsers. I run it on Safari and Chrome. Okay, I can see all my steps here. I can see passed and failed. Of course, if step fails, I will get a screenshot here as well. So you can see the same results over Safari and same results over Chrome browser. So you can see it's quite detailed test result report. Well, that said, actually Oxygen supports more than one test result report. So Oxygen supports HTML report, as you can see right now. It supports, of course, JUnit XML report, so you can easily integrate it with your CI/CD tool. It supports more detailed JSON report, where you can also get performance stats and browser logs as well. And we support Excel reports, so if you run data-driven tests, you can easily generate a test result report in Excel file based on your input test parameters. So it's also a very handy feature as well. So you can just use PF format. Again, you can find this more details here in the documentation. You see --RF, and you can provide different types of report, including PDF format as well. There are a number of other options, so you can provide your test parameter file. By the way, let me show you quickly how you do parameterization. So all you need to do in order to parameterize your test, you just replace your keyword here by using a $sign. And as you can see here, this is an example of parameter file. You can just then connect your parameter file here in settings file. So all you need to do is switch on use parameter files and then select your either CSV or Excel files. That's all. I will show you the CSV file here. So once you have a CSV or Excel file, please mind that the first row will be the parameter name. So in this case, it will be term. You can rename it to anything you like. And then from second row on, those are actually data rows. So, you know, if you run this test in, say, 2 iterations, okay, so what you will see is first we will search for test keyword and then for Selenium keyword, okay? And the same thing you can do from Oxygen CLI as well, okay? So if we'll run it locally, I can just run this test for 2 iterations, and I will search. It will search first for test, and then for Selenium. Yeah, you see it now, searches for Selenium, okay? And of course, I can provide more than one column, so I can work with multiple columns, data sources, and for example, I could push in another column just an assert title, so I could assert my title as a part of data-driven testing. So just to wrap it up and summarize it, so Oxygen IDE allows you to quickly create a test with record and play capabilities. As you can see, it supports local infrastructure and remote infrastructure. It's also support mobile tests, so you can run this test on local mobile infrastructure if you like, or responsive using Chrome responsive mode as well. And of course, you can go to remote and run it on all more than 2,000 models of LambdaTest browsers. You have different settings here as well, so you can control how you run it in terms of Selenium parameters. Once you have your script done, you can use just a standard Oxygen CLI to run it from either either manually or from your favorite CI/CD tool. As I mentioned, Oxygen CLI supports HTML, JUnit, XML, JSON, PDF, and Excel formats. So you can definitely find one of them suitable for your needs. It supports, important to say, Oxygen supports both mobile and web. So it supports Appium as well as web, as Selenium. If you want to do a mobile test, then you just need to download Appium Desktop. And when you download Appium Desktop, you have a record capabilities inside of Appium Desktop, inside of an inspector window. And then all you need to do is just to choose Oxygen, and then Appium Desktop will generate Oxygen code for you. So in case you do a mobile testing, I mean a native mobile testing, then you can utilize recording capabilities inside of Appium Desktop. If you do pure web or mobile web, then you have built-in recording capabilities in Oxygen IDE, and then you can run it anywhere on any infrastructure. Yeah, with really just within a few clicks, as you see. You don't need to get into too much details of how Selenium works. We take care of it behind the scenes. I think that's more or less all I wanted to show you. I will just jump back to my presentation just to summarize these points. Yeah, so just to summarize what you saw, so you can instantly create tests within a few clicks. It's seamlessly integrated, as you see, with LambdaTest infrastructure, so you can just go ahead and run your test instantly on 2,000 plus real browsers. And as you saw, you can easily analyze the results, either within scope of Oxygen, so either using HTML or JSON or JUnit XML report. And also some of the results are generated inside of LambdaTest as well, as you saw some performance statistics, networking, and so on. So you have actually, all you're covered. I want just to mention here that if you would use CloudBeat test our entire infrastructure, so what you can do, you can create your test in Oxygen and then just bringing them up to CloudBeat test. Then you will get centralized cloud-based reporting and test analysis capabilities with some AI features of identifying test failures and help you to maintain your automation test. So again, this is not our focus for today's webinar, but if you are interested to hear more, just please feel free to approach me after this session. Okay, so yeah, Jay, I'm just back to you.
All right, I think that was great, Nachum. Thanks a lot, and
you're welcome.
This was brief. This was brief, and we would love to take up questions right now. And we have a Q&A icon up there, in our meeting viewers, so you guys can shoot out across the questions. So I have one question here, Nachum, that can I run multiple browser test methods with this IDE? Is the question by one of our attendees for you.
Yeah, I mean, the IDE goal is just to help you to get up to speed with your script. So it's not a final execution infrastructure. So you can run multiple browser tests using the JSON format I shown you. if you saw in my demo, we were actually running our test on 2 different browsers. We're running it on Safari and Chrome. So you can achieve it by using our just configuration file. Yep, hopefully it answers the question.
Great. So we have one question: what frameworks we can use with LambdaTest? You can use any of the frameworks that support Selenium scripts. We'll be able to run those frameworks on LambdaTest platform. And okay, I think there was a question which was already by one of our attendees. Is there any way to define custom desired capability? I think that's already covered in the demo, which Nachum presented.
Right.
So yes, we can definitely. And it was exactly the right time, in fact, when the question came in. You were covering it.
Yeah, I felt it.
Yeah. So, and there's a question is, do we support the Circle CI as well? So yes, we do support Circle CI as well with LambdaTest. And I think,
let me add it on top of it, Jay, is that also Oxygen supports natively Circle CI. It has a special orb, which is another way to say special plugin for Circle CI called Oxygen HQ orb. So you can go ahead and explore it as well.
Great. And then there's one more question. I see on the Oxygen documentation page that only Chrome and IE are supported by the IDE. Is that correct? That's for you.
No, basically IDE supports 4 major browsers. So it supports, it of course depends if you run it on Windows or Mac. If you run it on Windows, and you will see in the Dropbox a list of Chrome, Internet Explorer, and Firefox. And while if you run it on Mac, so of course you won't see Internet Explorer, you will see then Safari, Chrome, and Firefox. Okay, but that's important to mention that while IDE, Oxygen IDE supports these 4 browsers, with Oxygen CLI tool, you can run it on any browsers that your infrastructure supports. As you saw in my demo, I was able to run it on LambdaTest on very particular version of Windows operating system and a very particular version of the browser. Okay, so basically Oxygen as a self, as a solution, is not limited to particular browser. You can run it on any browser that your infrastructure supports.
Great. And is it compatible with Lambda emulator? Yes, it is compatible with Lambda emulator as well, that we provide mobile browsers. So you'll be able to run the test on both mobile and desktop browsers. And that's where you saw Nachum sharing the desired capabilities that you need to embed in the test script.
Right. Let me go back and again just to emphasize it. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so there is a special page here in LambdaTest website called Capabilities Generator, and so it's fairly simple. So you can see here different categories, right? So you just put your you just choose your operating system. As you can see, you can choose it either Mac or Windows. You can either choose a particular resolution if you like. You can choose your browser, and then you can choose a version. Okay.
Right. And then there's Appium as well on the right-hand side next to Selenium that you can see for mobile.
Oh, right. And then you can do the same on Appium as well. Okay. And so once you do it either in Appium and Selenium, it doesn't matter for Oxygen as perspective as well. All you need to do is just to copy paste it. That's all. Okay. Right. So just to copy paste it, I will show you again where I did it. So here we just copy it. Okay. And I go back here. Okay, and I paste it right between the parentheses in init function here, web.init, okay? So right in between, that's all, okay? And then just mind to select again to run it on LambdaTest. It doesn't matter what you select here, it will override, the settings will override whatever you already selected here, okay? Right. All you will need to do is just press a run button, that's all.
Wait, so there is, I think, one more question that we have. Can I run Oxygen test by using Jenkins?
Yeah, of course, you can run them fairly simple. I'm not sure. Let me see if I have a Jenkins here. Maybe I can show you straight away. I'm not sure, but let me see if I have some demo here. Basically, you need to do 2 steps, 2 simple steps. First, you need to add a step with command line execution, okay, to your Jenkins, and then just simply type Oxygen and specify your test name or test suite name. Let me see if we have something here. Yeah, I'm not sure I have some good example here. No, I don't have one here, but basically what you need to do, you just need to add your, let me see if I can demonstrate here, your post-build step, and once you do it, you can just write Oxygen space and the name of test you want to run. Of course, if you keep your test in Git, then you can just clone your test repository from Git. If you keep it in some local ways, then you just point it to your local repository. And yeah, you just add execute shell, okay? And then in execute shell, you just write Oxygen space and the name of the script. And then the last step you add is JUnit XML report. As you can see here, it's called publish. In this case, it's publish performance. There is another type, it's just publish test results report. And it's a special plugin which supports JUnit XML format. So you need to add it as a next step, and then you get your JUnit XML report integrated with Jenkins. Okay. Hopefully it answers your question. We have, by the way, another one which I really recommend you is just to subscribe to CloudBeat YouTube channel. And we have the demonstration how to work with Jenkins there. Let me see here. Yeah, so you can see our special CloudBeat channel. You can see quite a few videos here, so you can explore how to work with Jenkins, with Azure DevOps, and so on. Okay. So yeah, definitely subscribe to our channel, and you can see more information there. And also, I believe you can find in our documentation as well.
Great, thanks, Nachum.
Back to you, Jay.
Yeah, thanks. And I think we have one question here for, okay, does LambdaTest, what do you mean by parallel test? So with parallel test in LambdaTest, you'll be able to run multiple browser and operating system configuration, run the test on the same time, which will help you to bring down the test execution time significantly. And so whether be it mobile browsers or desktop, so you can run it at the same time with the parallel test. I hope I was able to answer the question. I think this is great. And any more questions, we can take them out.
Yeah, it's very easy to do it in parallel, guys. It's very easy to do it in parallel on Oxygen side, and of course Lambda supports it. Yeah, as I mentioned, all you need to do is to change here parallel to any number you like. Okay, so if I change it here to 10 parallel tests, then I can run it on 10 parallel browsers. I just need to specify here more capabilities. That's all.
Great. And I think, yes, so just a quick question. So yes, we will be sharing the recording and the information, and you can get in touch with CloudBeat anytime, and also you can get in touch with LambdaTest chat support 24/7 that we provide to answer any further questions you might have regarding LambdaTest. And with respect to CloudBeat, you can reach out to CloudBeat team anytime. And I hope this webinar was very informative for all, and I hope it was helpful for you to kind of see how you can work with CloudBeat and LambdaTest to increase to basically increase your test coverage for the cross-browser automation as well, and build automation test scripts using CloudBeat. So great. I think we do have there are some other questions regarding pricing and other things. I think that we'll take it offline. And and now we just wanted to share, we have an upcoming webinar, which is going to come up when 29th of October, Web UI testing with Python and LambdaTest. So feel free to sign up. We'll be sharing this details shortly with the team as well. So great. So I think, Nachum, is there anything else you want to share we've covered here? And thanks a lot for taking time to brief about CloudBeat and how it kind of works. It was amazing to learn a lot more than our last discussion. That's great.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Jay, for hosting me. Thanks for our great audience to take their time and spend with us this last hour. Hopefully, you guys like what you see. We will share with you the presentations. So you can feel free to approach Jay, myself. We are here. We are here to help you. Thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much again for taking time on a busy day. And like I said, Mondays are always crazy. So thanks again. Really appreciate it for your participation.
Thanks.